And the critters take out the engine for the win. Hi, Zeus here. Today we're going to go through the battle and strategy with 5 engines of Season 14. And this first battle I'm kind of proud of, actually. It was a really creatively designed base, very different. And I used a different strategy of barding out the 2 flamethrowers in the upper right corner, throwing down some critters, despite the fact that there was a rocket launcher right there within range. Got the shock down, and running out of time, flared all the troops at the rocket launcher to take it down with my last energy. Lost every one of my bombardiers but one, and then flared them back to take out the last engine after the critters took down the second to last engine. Anyway, pretty cool. So here's the guy that I was up against. He lost by 3 seconds. He did a more conventional attack with heavy choppas and bombardiers. He barded out my far right engine. And as the heavy choppas are spawning heavies, he did a second wind, Dr. Gavan. Threw down a critter box to take out all those mines on my base there. It's throwing down some shocks to suppress my rocket launcher and shock launcher on the right. Anyway, very competent, well done attack, and even got the mines there right at the end. Only missed the one boom mine, and anyway, it did make the difference. Here's another one of my attacks. Just a conventional attack, 3 seconds faster than what the last guy did against my base. So one of the keys to this combat is to get your bombardiers spread across the ship deck, nicely spread, because if they clump, they're going to target the same defensive weapon, losing time. You'll lose a lot of time because 3-4 bombardier bombs will hit the same defensive weapon. But if they're spread evenly across the deck, what happens is you're going to get maximum efficiency and the best time, because every bomb is going to do damage and you're not going to have redundant bombs. The other thing to do, it's very important at the end to flare, and the trick is not to flare too soon. This guy who beat me, I had a bad attack and it didn't really work out, but this guy who beat me, Baron Rojo, Red Baron, he did a really, really excellent attack, and his bombardiers spread beautifully across the ship deck. And I wanted to show you that. And he beat my base in an astounding time. He had 2 minutes and 27 seconds left at the end. But again, it's because every single one of the bombs that the bombardiers are laying down is hitting a target. And look at this beautiful flare at the end with everything shocked. Anyway, good piece of work. All right, we're going to show another battle here. This one's got, this base has got max level rocket launchers, 2 on the upper left edge of the base, and 1 amplified at the back of the base, and 1 to the right. And just goes to show, this time was good. We got a good spread of the bombardiers across the base, and had a lucky break there. 1 bombardier went and took out that rocket launcher without any shocks being needed, because the rocket launcher targeted the heavy choppas, and then it targeted the next one too. So that worked out great. Didn't have to spend any energy to protect the bombardiers there. And, you know, one other point is it's actually kind of okay towards the end if you lose one of your heavy choppas, because your heavy choppa then spawns 10 heavies, which is actually going to produce more firepower and more distraction. The flare there was good, and then we had a good BART of the far right engine. Here's an even a little faster time, 2 minutes and 24 seconds. This time it landed one group of troops to the far right edge of the landing area, and they spread out nicely, really well. Used some critters there to take out the very timely second box of critters to take out the mines. Barred out that far right engine, and as far as I could, and had a really good time there. Here's another good one. I did 2 minutes and 23 seconds. This one landed not quite to the far right, a little bit off the far right. And then went after that amplified shock launcher. Had some mines there by the landing area, so I had to throw down a heal pack on that one bombardier and then some critters. This base is well spread out, not clumped together, despite the amplifier. And so taking out the rear amplified rocket launcher is probably a good idea, because it's going to have the most amount of time to do damage on your troops as opposed to the one in the front. And with one of the heavy choppas going down, it's important to use Dr. Command's second wind and then put a shock, have enough energy to put a shock on that hot pot and a flare. And you know, the heavies will attract the flamethrowers, so you don't have to worry about your bombardiers dying. This one was really fast, 2 minutes and 34 seconds. And again, just goes to show, like, if you can get your bombardiers properly spaced across the ship deck, you can achieve really fast times. So I've even got that one boom mine that was about to get one of my guys barred down the far right engine at the end there. Here's one that I lost by 3 seconds. So this guy is using shocks to take out my core around the amplifier. He barred out the far right engine, and about the only thing I would say is he actually could have had a little bit better time if he had flared a little bit sooner on the second to last engine. So at this point, I'm up to 202 on the U.S. leaderboard. And then my buddy, Lieutenant Dan, shows up in a battle. If you recall, I've talked about Lieutenant Dan in the past. He is the guy who I fought a battle in the last couple of minutes of one season. And because he won, he got that beautiful top 500 global trophy there that you see, and not me. The last time I came up against him, I won. And this time I came up against him, I won. So I got the win there, even though my flaring at the end there was not that good. Here's my attack on Lieutenant Dan's base. And I used a different strategy because of how his base was designed, similar to mine, of landing all of the troops on the left landing area, because it gets your bombardiers to spread out very nicely across the landing deck. And you'll notice if you go back and look at Lieutenant Dan's attack, his bombardiers are not well spread out, or not as well spread out across the ship deck. anyhow, we're using some shocks and shock knuckles actually to slow down some of his defensive weapons. I used 3 heavies on this attack. Usually I'm using 2, but on this particular base I felt that 3 might be better. Anyhow, we got the win, and anyhow, using these techniques, we moved up to 169 on the U.S. leaderboard, and then up to 139 on the U.S. leaderboard, and ultimately up to 104 on the U.S. leaderboard. Anyway, I hope you liked the video. If you did, please subscribe and like, and thanks as always to Hercules for the video editing.